we get even angrier. Yeah, there we go.
Ooh. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes episode 157, I believe.
I believe so.
Tuck Rule Takes. Gang is all here again today, recording before Thanksgiving. So happy early Thanksgiving to everybody except Patriots fans, because we cannot have anything nice.
No, because we're miserable.
We are miserable. So yeah, today basically, or tonight, this morning, whenever you're listening to this, basically going to be talking about the game. Nothing else really happened. Talk about this moving forward to the Colts game at home next week. But before we get into this fucking debacle of a game, oh yeah, gang's all here. Like I said, I'm Mike, Liam's here, Al's here. Enjoy the misery. We gotta talk it out. It's basically like a therapy session every fucking week now.
It is.
Although I will say it does feel different than other years, because I do think that there's a little bit more optimism.
We almost won last week. I would say for the most part,
last week was fine. Yeah, last week was,
I would say we're basically booked in for like 4 super depressing shows for this season, and the other ones will be unbridled optimism. But like 4 of these shows are just going to be like after games where we got our dicks kicked in, like such.
Hey, remember when the Patriots were 1-0? That was pretty cool.
That was wicked cool. That was a lot of fun.
Dude, that was crazy. I was thinking they were going to run the table.
Yep, just you.
Jacoby Brissett is going to actually play. I don't know. Before we get into the game, you guys have anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to get off your chest at all about anything?
I'm going through a divorce.
Okay.
No,
With
sorry.
who? No. Okay. Really fucking nothing. I think we all
got something. I got something. I saw Wicked yesterday.
How was that? I've heard good things.
Guys, 10 out of 10, no notes.
Are you actually kidding?
Fuck, it tremendous. So I've never seen the play, like the Broadway play. My wife has. She's been
a huge Broadway play guy.
She's been wanting to take me to the play, but it's like not the original people, so it's like goddamn. But like I know the songs. I've been wanting to see it, so I don't really know the story. I forget the Wizard of Oz story, like a lot of the details.
Do you like sang along to the songs and shit?
Oh, I was bobbing my head to some of them. Let me tell you that, like, it's a musical. It's awesome. You got the Wicked Witch. You got it's. I recommend anybody go see it, because even if you don't love musicals or you don't know what Wicked is all about, dude, it is awesome. Go see it. It's a part 1. Part 2 is coming out next year. But yeah, definitely, like anybody listening, go see this thing. It's a fucking blast. Yeah, but make sure you go to one of the screenings, because I guess they have screenings where like sing-along screenings, so people sing during them.
Yeah.
Dude,
like I would karaoke thing.
I would kill someone if they started singing, because like I want to hear the people. That's
kind of the point.
Sing.
They're professionals.
Yeah, but no. 10 out of 10 is fucking awesome. Like we went to dinner. After dinner, we were like, should we just go see it again?
Wow,
like that.
You are such a fucking nerd,
dude. It's good shit. It is good shit.
Normally, in most circumstances, I find your opinion very even keel, and I would take it. But you clearly have a skewed taste in movies, since you're obsessed with these superhero movies, and unilaterally,
it was better than some superhero movies.
Yeah, well, unilaterally, all those superhero movies are fucking terrible, and you love them. So
come on.
I will give you Deadpool because it's entertaining and Ryan Reynolds is funny, but he's still not acting. He's just playing himself. It's just Ryan Reynolds on there saying the same fucking jokes.
Just Ryan Reynolds.
Just the same fucking jokes that him and his wife make on Instagram. It's not a good movie. It's entertaining, and none of those superhero movies are good. So when you come on here and say Wicked, go see it, I am saying, in my head, in my heart of hearts, I'm thinking Mike's movie perceptions are skewed in a queer direction.
Dude, go. Oh no, I mean, it's a musical, so there's definitely going to be some queer things in there. But go see. Let me ask you, what's your top like couple movies you can come off the top of your head? Like, let me see why you think
musical or non-musical.
Non-musical. I mean, yeah, no, non-musical.
Phone Booth, No Country for Old Men.
Okay.
I just watched James Bond Skyfall again because it's awesome, and
That's good.
I'm going through a huge Roger Deakins kick.
Okay.
Sicario is pretty cool, but that's kind of on
Sicario was
brand
good.
with.
I watched that for the first time like last
Yeah,
month or a couple months ago. Departed is my favorite one.
The
Departed,
Departed's a classic.
Gladiator, Mystic River is some good
Yeah, I'm
shit.
definitely seeing Gladiator too. But oh, I did
Oh, I
just
want to
watch
see that.
Darkest Hour, the movie about Winston Churchill. I'm usually, being Irish and whatnot, not a fan of British people, but I do love Winston Churchill. He's him and my buddy Arjun are like my two favorite British people, and he just seems awesome. 10 cigars a day, and he would start his day with a pitcher of hard cider and end it with countless jiggers of scotch.
Al, favorite movies. No
Oh
order, just
God.
like if you can just think of some off the top of your head, because I want to know who we're dealing with here.
I mean,
And also, I will say, Wicked should be in your top movies. That's how
you're
fucking good this
you're
is.
dealing with a little kid here. Like I like all like the classic like little kid movies
So,
like
like Snow White.
Happy like Step
Happy
Brothers,
Gilmore's
Happy
incredible.
Gilmore, like
Oh,
the slapstick like
Oh, okay.
movies and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like those
I will never fault anyone for
Low
putting an Adam
intellect
Sandler
movies.
movie.
exactly. Like I'm in a profession where I deal with education and everything all day and kids that I just need to come home, put something like just mind numbing
Mind
on
numbing.
television and just yep, there you go. And just let it play in the background. Like there was a period in the summer where I would play like Napoleon Dynamite and just have it in the
Oh,
background
so good.
just just to
I
have
couldn't even
it.
get through that
I
movie.
can
I've
run a
never seen that
football
whole
over
movie.
those mountains.
I've never seen that whole movie. That's how bad I
Gina,
was
come
just
get
like,
some
nope,
dinner. Come get
nope.
some ham.
It's so good.
Wedding Crashers. You guys like Wedding
Wedding
Crashers? You guys
Crashers
seem
is
like
Wedding
Wedding
Crashers is a
Crashers
good
incredible.
one.
people.
It's
Okay.
incredible. It's
Okay.
a
You
it's a
better.
movie to live by. My probably my favorite movie ever though, True Romance.
Never seen it.
True Romance. Who's in it?
Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, and then it has
I
like
know what you're
a
talking
ton of
about.
studs. It's like one of Brad Pitt's first movies. James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano's in
Hmm.
it very early on when he had hair. Um, Michael Rappaport's in it.
Oh,
God
okay. You lost me.
damn.
Done. Can't
No,
hit.
no, trust me, I
No
hate him
rap
too.
before.
But it's
Fuck
actually
him.
it's a
I
fantastic
never seen
movie.
that.
It's Quentin Tarantino. You guys like Tarantino?
Tarantino's pretty good.
Let me
Yeah,
tell
so
you something.
he wrote
I
it.
don't think I've ever been impressed by a Tarantino movie.
How? You haven't
I,
seen a Tarantino movie?
Reservoir Dogs, most overrated movie in the world.
Awesome movie.
What was
It's what is it?
the
Because no one had superpowers? Is that why you didn't
no,
like
I
it?
didn't. You don't need superpowers. You don't need to. No one has superpowers in Wicked. Well, actually, there's witches, so maybe they do.
Yeah,
But
they do.
what's the other one? The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. One of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Do you understand the history
Yes, I
behind that?
understand everything he was saying. I get it
No,
all.
no, no. But
One of
like,
the most
do you
boring
know?
movies
Do
in
you
like
know?
that I've ever seen.
Do you know who Sharon Tate was?
Yes, I know who Sharon Tate was.
Who?
She was the Manson murders. I know who Sharon Tate is. I understand.
Okay.
I
So you
understand.
understand the
I
history of
understand
it.
the whole story. It was the one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
That's one of my favorite movies. That's an incredible movie.
Well,
I,
see,
I
this is
just
why
don't
you'll
think
never like Wicked.
I don't think you understand the history. I don't think you're a big history guy.
I
Have you seen
understand the history. That
Inglorious
doesn't change the
Bastards?
movie.
Inglorious
No,
Bastards.
I've never seen that. I've never seen Inglorious
You
Bastards.
probably hate it
I
because
fell
he
asleep
does the
during that.
same
Actually,
thing.
funny. I watched that after my dad and I stopped watching Napoleon Dynamite when I was a kid, or like when I was younger when that came out, and I fell asleep halfway through Inglorious Bastards. I liked what I saw though,
How?
but
It's all
Tarantino is
killing.
just the most overrated
He's
director in the
definitely
world.
not.
Yeah,
What
he
about
is.
like The Hateful Eight, Django?
Yeah, sorry if I never saw Django. I know I'll like Django. I know I'll like
You'll
Django.
love Django. It's
I
hilarious.
understand. I will. It's
Yeah,
it's got one of my favorite actors in it, so I
yeah.
understand.
I
Leo,
can't see
but
fucking shit out
yeah,
this thing.
no,
It's so good.
no. There he is him and James Cameron. Okay, dude, you made
Yeah,
Titanic and you made a shit ton of Avatar movies. No one gives a shit.
yeah. I
Um,
think you're missing the mark there.
all right. Uh, we tried to distract ourselves from it as much as we
Hmm.
could.
Yeah, let's just get
It
it
Um,
was
over with. Rip
nice.
the Band-Aid off.
so the Patriots lost in the John Smith revenge game.
Yeah.
34 to
How the
15 to the
hell did we
Miami
let that happen?
Dolphins. They made it respectable at least. I'll run through some I guess I'll run through some stats before we kind of talk. Drake May, 22 or 37, 222, a touchdown and a pick. He also had a fumble. They cut Kendrick Bourne under the passing 0 for 1.
That was
Yeah.
Um,
funny.
Antonio Gibson, your leading rusher, 6 for 31. Drake
Ugh.
May
Oh,
is your
see.
second leading rusher, 5 for 26. Ramondre, 8 for 13. Um, Receiving, Demario Douglas, Pop Douglas, 5 for 62. Austin Hooper, 4 for 59. Hunter Henry, of course, 5 for 44. Um, and you know what? We don't normally do this. I'm going to list off the Dolphin stats just so we can see the difference between like a functional team and a non-functional team.
Paint a
Yeah,
word picture for us.
please.
Tua, 29 of 40. Didn't seem like he had that many incompletions, but 29 of 40, 317 yards, 4 touchdowns. Devon A Chain, whatever the fuck you say his last
Yeah,
name, 10 for
yeah.
32. Cool. So like the Patriots did kind of slow down the rush, which was fine. Passing Jalen Waddle, 8 catches, 144 and a touchdown. Jonnu Smith, 9 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown. The same Jonnu Smith, by the way, who Bill Belichick and company couldn't figure out how to use.
Yep.
Tyreek
One
Hill, 5 for
touchdown in
46.
2 years. That was great.
Oh, I don't care. Like it's like there's a lot of layers to talk about with this game, but just to kind of show you the disparity there in stats, the Patriots did make it somewhat respectable, but a lot of that was, I don't want to say garbage time, but
It's
it
garbage
was
time.
it was kind of like they were trying to fight back, but I mean, maybe if May doesn't or if May doesn't fumble the ball at the end, I don't know,
Yeah,
whatever.
you knew the game was over at that point. It was well in hand. Like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So where, as we do every week, I'll toss it to you guys. Where do you guys want to start with this game?
I'm actually going to defer because I was in the car and I did miss basically the entire first half. I walked into my house when Devon A-Chain scored his second touchdown. So please tell me what the fuck happened because obviously we were texting.
Al,
Mike, can you just do me a quick favor? Can you read Tua's stats again, please, if you don't mind? Just
do I have
Tua's.
to? Okay.
Just
Yes, you do.
29 completions, 40 attempts,
Okay.
317 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 picks.
Okay, so 73% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Patriots fans, you're gonna hate to hear this, but it's true. Tua Tagovailoa is your daddy. He is your daddy. He is
Yeah.
7-0 against you. And not only does he beat you, he crushes you. He basically, I'm trying to think of the word, like he just like emasculates you. That's what he
Yeah.
does. That's what he
That's
does
the
to his
word.
teams.
Takes us out behind the woodshed.
Like that's what Tua Tagovailoa does. Earlier in the year, when the Dolphins had Skylar Thompson starting, and the Patriots lost that game 15-10, I said to myself, this was the game to beat the Dolphins because if Tua comes back, Tua's going to come back with a vengeance, and he always plays well against the Patriots. Sure
You
enough,
nailed
showed
that.
up again. And by the way, how have the Patriots not figured out the last 5 years this run pass option stuff that the Dolphins pull all the time?
Dude, they just run it over and over again against the Patriots.
And they
It's
can't figure it
unbelievable.
out. 5 years, that's a little extreme, but basically since 2021, because that was when like the Dolphins really started to beat the Patriots and beat them consistently, you haven't been able to figure it out. And offensively, I mean, just can we please get rid of Vidarian Lowe? Can we
Dude,
please send him in a rocket, shoot him off into the sun, and never talk about him again?
he better not have got on the team plan.
4 penalties in the firt half. 4 penalties
Absurd. It's got to be a
alone.
record.
It's got to be close. Like and Demontre Jacobs or whatever, he had a couple too. But the point is that first drive that, and Mike, you watched the game, so you know what I'm talking about. That first
Unfortunately.
drive, you had momentum,
Oh, they were
and
doing well. They were moving the ball.
they were, and your offensive line took you completely out of that drive. And then Joey Sly, granted, 45-yard field goal. You should be able to hit that. But still, if you don't commit those penalties, you're probably down at about the 15-yard line. Worst case scenario, it's a 30-yard chip shot, which he probably hits. And then who knows how the game ends up. Probably doesn't make much of a difference. But still, it set the tone right there. I've had enough of seeing Vidarian Lowe in this starting lineup on the line. I know you don't have many other options, but throw somebody there. I don't care.
Anyone.
He needs to go. If
See,
you
that's the
can't
thing.
line
He
up
can't.
right, right. If you can't line up right, if you can't do the pre-snap stuff right, you should not be playing in the National Football League. You
I
shouldn't.
agree.
Period.
Yeah. So just
Outrageous.
the penalties he had. Vidarian Lowe had 1, 2, 3 false starts and a holding call. Demontre Jacobs had a false start and a holding call. Austin Hooper on offense as well. Neutral zone infraction, lined up offsides, which was crazy. Mike Onwenu had a holding call.
How's your
Yeah,
boy?
yeah. I mean, he only had one holding call. I mean, listen, man, if we're gonna talk about issues, he is down the list. But Yeah, I think this kind of goes to what I spoke about last week, where it's like this team, they're one of the teams where they have some pieces, but they're clearly still building to it. And this is where I think I even said it when we were all texting. I don't. This game kind of solidified it for me. This game, as we talk, was kind of a game changer for me moving forward for a lot of reasons. Like, kind of like things have changed now. Like, I think this team sucks. Um, like I'm open to I will be open to hear any argument or debate about firing any coach, whether it's the head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. I'll be open to it. I'll listen to it. I may not agree, but whatever. But if you tell me in this draft, assuming because free agency is before the draft, correct?
Mhm.
So assuming that they don't grab two starting offensive linemen in free agency, I don't want to hear shit about Ted McMillan, Travis Hunter, anyone else you guys want to talk about in the draft. The Patriots need to shore up the offensive line because I think Drake May, if he has in a offensive line, he can win with B minus receivers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What I
Mhm.
mean is like say they get top guys, they draft good guys for the O line, and they get maybe some second tier receivers, maybe not T Higgins, but like say they get like a Cortland Sutton type who isn't a true number one, but he can be good. I think that Drake May and this team can succeed with that. You can't do shit with this offensive line. One, just blocking alone, as we know, they need to get better at that. But now just lining, just doing things. Granted, that first false start on Vidarian Low, I thought was a little close, but
Mhm.
he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. You
No.
know, like
He
he's not
doesn't.
going to get that. So
David
it's
Andrews,
just
yes, him absolutely fucking up.
sure. Which,
Right.
by the way, we also have to remember David Andrews is out. Not that that helps false starts, but I think maybe protection wise that might help a little bit. But that still doesn't change anything. I think offensive line is the best place to start.
Yes.
You
I think
see,
it's the
like
only place to start.
Drake May can help in a bad offensive line. We've seen it in every one of his starts. That's why the offensive line looks better. I have quotes going up right now,
Mhm.
as opposed to when it did with Jacoby Brissett, because Jacoby Brissett couldn't move as much, couldn't scramble as much, didn't have as good as in the pocket movement or whatever. And yeah, I know Drake May, he fumbled again today, which that one was on him. He fumbled last week too. I don't think that one was, considering that was the quickest pressure in the league so far this year from snap to sack. But Drake May's turnover issues are not the number one thing right now. But yeah, the offensive line, you can't win with this performance. Now, this was what, like the third straight game this offensive line has started, and they've played decent the last few games, which is why like seeing this is frustrating because we've seen
Mhm.
an offense that like these guys do well enough to win or well enough to put
Yeah.
you in a position to win. Now,
Right.
granted, the defense didn't help things. We'll talk about that. Obviously, we listed off the stats. Tua fucking carved us up like Swiss cheese. But like, this is ridiculous.
It is. And to go back to your point, Mike, about fixing the offensive line in the draft, you're looking at the top 10 free agent wide receivers. And I know, again, there's still football to be played, but I think it's safe to say, Liam, I know you'll agree with this because you are a realistic fella. Mike, you might be starting to agree with this. Patriots aren't going to the playoffs. I mean, that's just
No.
that's let's just
You're
call it
gonna
that.
win that money, Al.
I know I am. I'm very
Let me
aware, and
see.
I can't
An
wait.
eight and nine could get you there. They
Yeah,
went
see,
out.
look at him. He's grasping at straws now. But anyways,
Fine.
so but look at the free agency for the wide receiver position. I'm just going to list off the top 10 wide receivers they have right now, according to Spotrac.
Mhm.
Stephon Diggs, T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Robert Woods. Now, the last couple, they start to fade out a little bit,
Mhm.
but here's my point. Patriots have been linked to T. Higgins, and there's even league sources saying, oh, the Patriots and T. Higgins, whatever. Liam, you roll your eyes, but here's the thing. T. Higgins would be an upgrade. I'm not saying he's your
Yes.
number one,
Yeah.
but but if you sign not only Higgins, but and I'm just going to use an example. Let's say they sign Higgins and Cooks, right? Brandon Cooks, or even Higgins and Deontay Johnson, whatever, right? You get a couple more receivers in the room to go along with Kendrick Bourne, to go along with Pop Douglas. and then you can, with Jalen Polk, whatever, like whatever, right?
Jalen Polk.
And in the draft, then in the draft, then you get the Calvin Banks or the Will Campbell on that left side. So then at least you go into next year with either Banks or Campbell. Hopefully Cole Strange is back at left guard.
Mhm.
Andrews is back for 2025 because he said he wants to come back on
Yep.
Wenu, and then you just got to fix that right tackle position, which hopefully someone in the draft, or maybe you sign like a Tyron Smith. Maybe you sign a Ronnie Stanley.
There's people
A
out
Ronnie
there.
Stanley.
There's people out
There,
there that can
Ronnie
do it.
yes, there's a
Stanley's the
lot.
man.
There's a
Tyron
lot.
Smith
But
sucks.
point being, to your point, Mike, fix the line. Elliot Wolf, you're on the clock right now.
Mhm.
You should be doing everything. This season's a wash now. Like
Mhm.
there's still 5 games to be played, but realistically, they might win one more, maybe two at the most.
Yep.
So you better be preparing to have a top 5 draft pick, and you better be ready to make this team better around Drake May, like you guys were saying. I know I'm not talking about the actual Miami game.
Yeah.
There's nothing really to talk about. I mean,
I really feel like Drake May is that Ferrari in the shitbox garage. Like I think
He's
he's
that meme.
carrying
Yeah,
this
yeah,
fucking
of the
team.
shitty house
Yeah.
with the car. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Yep.
He is this entire team. He's doing his utmost. Maybe he's doing too much because he's
Mhm.
trying to carry this fucking team.
He is.
But they're completely brutal. I will see play calling that I love, followed by play calling that I despise. I think the defensive scheme is fucking awful. Most of the coaching I would give an F. Like most of the coaching is terrible.
it is.
It's so frustrating. And we have a clear point. We build around Drake May. We have something special. Sean McVay came out with more praise in the last couple days, talking about last week's matchup. We clearly have something great going on with the quarterback,
Mhm. Mike
but we've
McDaniels had good
surrounded
thing
him
to
with
say too.
shit. Yeah, we surrounded him with shit. No
Yeah.
offensive line, which me and Al boasted about from day one of the offseason. Like this whole season's a wash because we know what our offensive linemen can do,
Mhm.
and they're fucking terrible. Honestly, I thought it was going to be terrible. Did not think Vidarian Lowe would sniff the starting lineup after last year, and he's just fucking atrocious. And I'm like, it's worse than I even expected.
I
Uh,
I was just gonna say, finish your point, Liam. Then I have a question for you guys. So
but
go ahead.
I I find it so frustrating that there's absolutely like nothing. The running backs aren't good. Like Ramondre Stevenson is trying his damnedest out there, but how many 100-yard games has he had? I think one. And we brought Antonio Gibson in to be a good receiving threat out of the backfield, which he kind of is, but he's
The
kind
offense
of
doesn't
not.
help. Yeah, when it sucks.
Yeah,
Yep.
and the line might be the cause of all this, but fucking Polk again. One catch for 7 yards. It's our tight ends are good, our quarterback's good, our running backs are okay, but everything else is just terrible. Like
And
it's fucking brutal.
to your point, Liam, Ramondre Stevenson won a 100-yard rushing game week 1 against Cincinnati.
Wow. Damn, that's
But
bad.
he's had like the Rams and Chicago game. Like the Chicago game, he had 75 yards. The
Yep.
Rams game, he had 73. He had 89
Certainly, he
against the
gets
Dolphins
close.
the first
Yeah,
time.
he's
Yeah,
he's he's definitely not the problem, but
no,
it's
No,
he's
just like
not.
he's
it's
our
just
goal line.
alarming.
Like I love him, but
It's
like,
alarming to see
damn,
someone
dog.
who's good not play well.
And it's also
Uh,
when we're down 21-0, and
What do you do?
halfway through the second quarter, Ramondre is useless now. Now we
yes.
have no purpose for him.
All right, I'm gonna ask you guys a tough question here. And we're not gonna include like the line coach, the receiver coach, any of those guys. We're talking the three main coaches: the head coach,
Yep.
offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
Mhm.
Who do you think between the three of them is the most at risk to not be back next year?
Mm.
I think I'll give my answer quick because I think I know. I think it's AVP because I think it can be. It's an easy scapegoat. You have Drake May. You have the guy. You're telling me you couldn't get more production out of him. Sorry, you're gone. I think
Okay.
he's the guy because at least with Covington, you have some excuses, some built-in ones where you've had three captains now go down. So it's like I don't know. We'll give you another chance. Whatever. You're also a guy that was in the system already. So it's like we'll try to build you up in here. And if you go, maybe this is another year for Hightower to maybe take over for him if he sucks next year. But I think AVP.
Okay. Liam?
Dude, it's got to be Covington. Granted, I love Matthew Stafford, but we got shredded by Matthew Stafford. We got assaulted by
Mhm.
Tua. All of these
Scalped.
quarterbacks are just scalping us. Like it's good scalp check. It's brutal. Literally, we give every quarterback has career days against us, except for Joe Burrow. It doesn't make any sense. But everyone's balling. Geno Smith
That
had a
says more
great
about Joe
fucking day.
Burrow than it does about the Patriots too.
It
Yeah,
does, but he's still the best quarterback in the league statistically this year. But
he's good.
Geno Smith, who I think is a fine above average quarterback, crushed us. Crushed us. Him and DK Metcalf had a field day. All of these quarterbacks are balling out. We suck. Alex Van Pelt, like I said, I like some of the stuff and I hate some of the stuff.
Mhm.
On 4th and 2 at the end of the game when we went for it, why the fuck, when you're down 34-15, are we throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage?
I've
That is
always hated that.
disgusting.
Mhm.
I'm all for
That is
screens and
disgusting.
quick passes, but it's absolutely disgusting. That's like with your season on the line, throwing a check down when you need 10 yards. Like you
Right.
never do that. I think it's absolutely abhorrent, deplorable, and disgusting. It's an abomination. That was infuriating. But then the 2-point conversion, which was he kind of took out of Ben Johnson's lateral playbook. Awesome. You got to go with the trends in the league. I would start
I
doing
like
that to
that.
offensive linemen. I thought that was a great play. So I'm like, damn it, you kind of keep me on the hook. I can talk myself into keeping AVP before fucking Covington. I would have him and Vidarian Low, and I would say, hey, you book your stay at the Fontainebleau or Esme or whatever Miami hotel that you very much like because you're not coming to practice. We're gonna go back. You're gonna fucking stay here, and drown your sorrows in strippers and booze because you are fucking done.
Okay. So
Al, what would
I'm
you answer to that?
I'm gonna go 3-1. Coldest seat, warm seat, hot seat.
Cool.
Cold seat, Alex Van Pelt, which is surprising.
Really?
Yes, because what was Alex Van Pelt's big thing before he came to New England? He knew how to work with quarterbacks.
Yep.
Look at what he did in Cleveland last year with 5 different quarterbacks. Almost got them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Had really good offensive numbers. And he's done a nice job with Drake May. And
I
you're
think so.
starting to see a little bit more with the offense. Obviously, Miami today, different story. The last couple of weeks, you were starting to see some better play calling. I think the Rams game was his best game that
Yep.
he called plays for. I think he did a really good job there. I think Alex Van Pelt's job, knock on wood, is going to be safe next year. I think he's going to be back for another year.
And also, a quick pause. You don't want to keep switching up offensive
No,
coordinators on a young
Right. It would be
quarterback.
like
no.
your
That's
fifth one in
annoying.
5 years.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
also
Yes,
And
don't
like,
want AVP gone.
no,
That's just
certainly
my
not.
guess, which it's
Yeah.
shitty. Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So that's number 3.
Okay.
Number 2 is Gerard Mayo. Now, again, rookie head coach,
Lukewarm seat.
lukewarm. Yeah,
Understandable.
like rookie head coach, he's gonna make mistakes. I understand a lot of Patriots fans are impatient
They hate
because
him. They
they're
hate
so
him.
used to the winning. But he also doesn't do himself any favors when in the game you're not making adjustments. And some of his comments after the game, again, it's not all about PR. It's not all about public. It's not all about what you say. It's what you do. But Mike, I know you had a quote on Twitter that you didn't like of Gerard Mayo's.
You
looked
have it
really
pulled
quick.
up? Because I have it pulled up. Do you have it pulled
I
up?
can. Do you want to read it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have it right here. So,
Go for it.
after the game, talking about the errors, flags and all that shit by the players, he said, once those guys cross the sidelines, there's nothing I can do for them. There's nothing any coach can do for them once they cross the line. It's my job to continue to prepare them. Dude,
Dude.
not
Read
the
the room.
answer.
Read the
Not
room.
the answer. Now,
Yeah.
granted, he was kind of baited into that, and it's not taken out of context, but it's not what. But dude, don't because he also continues to say the right answer, where he says that it is him, it is coaching,
I know.
but
Just leave it out.
don't
Leave it
say
out.
that. Yeah,
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the thing. And also, on the other side of it, you can say, oh, well, he does make a good point. Like the players have to perform on the field. You're right, but you're the one putting the pieces together. It's like a game of chess. You're the one that has to make the moves. You're the
Yeah.
one that has to make the
And also,
substitutions.
you put these idiots out there. Like
Exactly.
if our players suck, you're the one who chose to play them and
And
not
take them
bench
out.
them. Yeah, or get somebody better. Yeah.
And the last, so obviously, who's the warmest seat? Who's the hottest seat? It's DeMarcus Covington.
Right?
Just a couple quick stats for you guys. The Patriots in 12 games this year, so they're 3-9 right now. 9 of them they've given up at least 20 points. 4 of them they've given up at least 30 points. And you're taking a look. The last couple games you've given up 34, 28. You had the 3 with the Bears, which was great. 20, 22, 32, 41. Now that goes back to almost October. That's your
Not
last
great.
7 games that you give up a ton of points. Now,
Yeah.
granted, some of it's turnovers by the offense. Some of it's, a fumble like Drake May had today, or a bad interception that, opposition takes into Patriots territory. Then there's easy points. You get all that. But again, like we said with Gerard Mayo, there is no, there are no adjustments. And you
Yep.
need to make adjustments, especially if I'm seeing Miami's running a RPO every time. You stick with those receivers tight. You stick with them right at the line of scrimmage, and you don't get beat with crossing patterns. You make
Yeah.
some sort of adjustment, whether you have to switch, whether you have to have one guy go over, one guy go under, whatever. You got to make some sort of adjustment. And I think, unfortunately, so far, the job has been a little bit above DeMarcus Covington's head.
Yeah.
You want to know
And
what I
and
think? Oh, actually, go.
and he has like I thought the Jets game was really good defensively. We gave up more than 20 points, but I would still say that's a great defensive game.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was the Bears
Mhm.
game, but look at those and you go, was that him? Like I look at the Jets game and I go, I think Gonzo played a lights out game. I think our defensive line got pressure on an old quarterback in a team that's on the decline. And then for the Bears game, clearly the Bears are just shit. Like they
A
had a good
mess.
game today, but they gave up 9 sacks to us, and then we didn't get a single sack the game after that. So clearly we're not great. So you look at he has had some fine defensive games, but I don't even know if I can attribute them to him.
Right.
Let me ask you guys something, because I've been thinking about this, and now I think it makes a little bit more sense. I think Drake May, listen to my explanation first. I think he is kind of fucking up and skewing the way that people look at this team. Because going into the year, the plan very much was to have Drake May sit, have Jacoby Brissett play. Maybe Drake May doesn't play at all. Maybe he plays the second half of the season, something. But it was a snowball effect. You had Jacoby Brissett was so bad. His play just started to dwindle, whether it was because of him, because of the team, just whatever it was. But either way, the results started to get so bad where Drake May had to play. He comes in and he looks better than the team, than the fans, than everybody thought. I think him being here is speeding everything up by a year, because I know that like going into last year or into the last offseason, we needed offensive line, we needed talent, we needed all this stuff. But now that you have the quarterback, those deficiencies are more glaring, because like if this was just Jacoby Brissett, it'd be like, you know what? The building team, you think you have the quarterback this offseason, you got money, let's go in there and build it, But I think that Drake May is skewing everything, where it's like, why didn't they get top 2 offensive linemen? Why didn't they go sign player X to be a receiver? We didn't know Drake May was going to be this good. We hoped and assumed he would eventually be this good. I think his progression, his skill is speeding up the process right now. And it's not really the Patriots and Elliott Wolf GM still very much have to go out this next offseason and build around Drake May. But I think until we get to that point, it looks that much more I get just bad because of Drake May, because of how good he looks, where like it's frustrating to watch, where it's like he has sped up the clock. Because if he wasn't playing, or if he just started playing like now or whatever, you know what, the Patriots are whatever 2-10 instead of 3-9. Okay, it's a lost season. Let's get the rookie in there. Holy shit, he looks good. There's 5 games left. Let's build with him next year. Now we've seen him, like you both said here, he's almost doing too much trying to win games, and he's almost winning these games that he's losing. So it's like, why didn't you guys get him help in the offseason? Guys, the Patriots didn't even plan to play him this much this year. That was not the plan coming in.
And there's going to be a ton of pressure this offseason for them to
Yes.
load this team around him, or literally everyone will be fired next season. If we don't have stud
Yep.
receivers, a good line, if we're not giving him the Joe Burrow treatment where they went out and got Jamar Chase and Burrow's second year and loaded up his team with guys, or the CJ Stroud treatment where let's get Stephon Diggs and give him all these stud receivers then and actually he got a running back, then
Mhm.
everyone's going to be fired next year.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. This is very much coming. And let me, so I think, so like that point kind of goes into this one. Al, you were talking about the people that were available in free agency. Let me tell you, what if the Patriots go out there? What if they sign T. Higgins? What if they trade for DK Metcalf? He's on his last year. What if they trade for someone like Garrett Wilson? What if they sign T. Higgins and Amari Cooper on a short 2-year deal? Or like, what if they sign Stephon Diggs and then sign one of the top tackles and then draft Ted McMillan? Like there's so many options out there. They don't even have to just sign people. They can trade for people as well. And I think that the Seahawks are going to be in position to get rid of Metcalf because they got Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's going to be their next big guy. That fucking nailed that name, by the way. I think they got Lockett, who's still there. They'll probably still draft other people. They might trade things. DK Metcalf doesn't seem happy. He's going to want to be moved. He's going to be on the last year of his deal. They might want to move him. I genuinely think Metcalf is an option. So like if they could trade for him, that frees you up. You don't need to draft a receiver in the first round. Get a tackle. Fuck, get a guard with the second round pick. I don't give a shit.
Are you willing to give up on Tat?
If you get DK Metcalf and like you don't get someone to fill in at the line there in free agency, fuck yeah. I definitely am. Because I think Metcalf is 26.
Receiver that can grow with him.
Yeah, but Metcalf's 26.
True.
He's young, but I agree. Why wouldn't they? Like in my head, if you can trade for Metcalf, that helps you cap wise because you can trade for him, and then do a contract, backload it, whatever you want to do, however you want to mess with the numbers. Maybe you sign the top right tackle, the top left guard, the top left tackle, whoever that happens
Somebody
to
have
be.
the free agent lineman for this.
I don't have it up now. I can pull it up unless you want to. Okay.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no worries. So they can do that. And then that frees you to get a Ted McMillan in the first round. If you have DK Metcalf, Ted McMillan, Pop Douglas, Kayshon Boutte, Hunter Henry, Ramondre Stevenson with Drake May as your offense.
In a decent line.
That it always comes back to that. But the thing is, people are saying in this draft, there's not that many first round graded tackles or guards. So even if you miss on that first guy, Kelvin Banks or whatever, grab someone in the second round or just sign someone. Like what's his name? Cam Robinson, who just got traded from the Jags, right? Or whatever. He's on the last year of his deal. Trade for him. Why not?
Yep. So do you guys want both tackles and guards?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoever. All right, so we'll start with the tackles.
We need help everywhere.
So you guys just tell me when to stop, but I'll just kind of start reading them off. So available tackles as of the 2025 free agency class.
Just do the first few. We don't need all of them. Yeah, just do the first.
I'll do like the top. I'll do like the top like 8 or 9. Cam Robinson, like Mike mentioned. Garrett Bowles, from Denver. Joseph Noteboom from the Rams. Ronnie Stanley from the Ravens. Tyron Smith from the Jets. Patrick McCarry from the Ravens. Morgan Moses from the Jets. Jedrick Wills from the Browns. Alaric Jackson from the Rams. And coming in at number 10, just because it's funny as shit, Trenton Brown.
I will burn all my Patriots memorabilia in clothing if they sign fucking Trenton Brown.
Mekhi Becton's out there too.
He's a monster.
Yeah, but isn't he kind of injured a little bit?
No. Yeah, he's only 25 though.
But either way, okay, those guys, there's guys you can sign there and you can plug in. That will be you don't need an all-star Matt Light left.
We don't need Orlando Pace.
No, you just need a slightly above average left tackle.
Yes.
That's all you need.
And just something to keep in mind with the guards. So just for the guards, just for the sake of the argument and just for the sake of the discussion, Zach Martin's out there, James Daniels from the Steelers, Austin Corbett from the Panthers, Kevin Zeitler from the Lions,
monster,
Will Hernandez from the Cardinals, Nate Herbig from the Steelers, Ben
Good.
Bredesen from the Bucks, John Feliciano from the 49ers, Cody Whitehair from the Raiders,
Feliciano's good too.
Those are
and then
guys
Wes
you can get.
Schweitzer from the Jets. That rounds out the top 10.
Those are guys you can plug in and get though. That's just it. The Patriots, they have so many different options. They can address their needs via free agency. Pass rushers, I don't think there's that many good pass rushers, so they'll probably have to go in the draft to do that if they wanted to do that. But there's so many different avenues for them to go down. There's
Yeah.
no excuse to go into the year with anything that looks like this team. They need to go into the year with one of the five receivers we named, whether it's free agency. I wouldn't even care if they signed like Stephon Diggs for 2 years or 3 years. It's like a stopgap type thing.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and then still maybe draft one, try to get Tet, whatever you wanted to do. Like you need to add someone who can help Drake May, because we are no longer in the position where we have Mac Jones, where we're trying to add receivers to elevate him because
Right.
he's bad. We're trying to grab receivers to elevate the quarterback play because you see that it's there and you want
Yes.
someone to go up with him. So
Right.
there's so many options this offseason, and it's frustrating to see. And like I said, it all just goes back to, I think that Drake May has sped up this process. So that's why this year seems so off or so weird. It's like, how did the Patriots let it get like this? And it's like, listen, we had no idea that Drake May was going to be looking like he could be the fucking rookie of the year.
Yes.
Like, there's no way. So
And for pass rushers, this is actually interesting because there's some
yeah,
names
who's up
here
there
that
for that?
Khalil Mack is there, Hassan Reddick is there, Matt Judon's there, Marcus Lawrence is there, Josh Sweat, Chase Young, Charles Amenhu,
Yeah,
Jerome Baker, Marcus Davenport, Foley, Fatukasi, Anthony Nelson. This is going to sound really crazy,
there's some names.
but I wouldn't mind, truthfully, if the Patriots re-signed Judon to like a 2-year deal. I
They
really
won't. I
wouldn't.
don't think. I
They
I don't think
won't,
he
but
would. Yeah,
they won't. But I think if you brought in again, stopgap guy, he's been here. You
yeah,
got something for him, so now you get him back. So you basically
mhm,
win the trade because
yeah,
Judon sucks in Atlanta, and then you get him back for the run back. I'm just saying. I think that would be
It would be
yeah. No, I
awesome.
could. Yeah, I could see that. I would stay away from the first two, Khalil Mack and Hassan Reddick.
yeah, especially
They
Reddick with
just
all the stuff with the Jets too
Khalil
this
yeah.
Mack
year.
still Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I mean, don't I wouldn't hit, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't sign him. I'm just saying, like, if there's another option, like, go for
Yeah,
them. Like, if you can draft
obviously.
someone or whatever. But like, see, there's just so much to the issue right now is that Patriots fans aren't looking, and kind of rightfully so, because you want the team to win now because of Drake May, because of how good he looks. But Patriots fans aren't looking to the future like that, where it's like, all right, we got this one guy. All they'll say is, oh, so the Patriots need offensive linemen and wide receiver help, so that's what they needed going into this year. So you're saying that Elliott Wolf and Gerard Mayo didn't do anything? Oh my God, what the fuck? It's like, I guess they tried. They tried to get people, and it just
Yeah.
didn't work out. Like, free agents aren't going to want to come to bad teams. You can say throw money at them, but we've seen this year that doesn't work. You don't want to just trade a bunch of picks for guys to come in. You want to try to build, grassroots draft guys, build them up. So like I'm just willing to give the team a little bit more grace to go into this offseason. Now, next season, Liam, you said it. Al, I'm sure you feel the same way. This offseason is huge. They got to build people. They
Yeah.
got to get people. You need to start building the team. You have like the nucleus of guys, which is basically Drake May and a couple other like starters on defense, maybe Ramondre Stevenson too. Kayshon Boutte's around, Pop Douglas. But like, you have to build this offseason. You need to. There's no reason the Patriots shouldn't win 8 or 9 games next year. No reason
Yep.
for it. Of course, injuries, crazy things happen, whatever. But just assuming everything kind of goes whatever normally,
Yeah.
there's no reason they shouldn't win. They should
agree.
win 8 or 9 games. But yeah, I don't we there's more to talk about with this game. Drake May, are you guys worried about his turnovers at all? We kind of touched on it a little bit, but like, are you guys
Yeah.
overly worried about
He
it?
does fumble more than most people, and I don't know if that he's trying to. What was that?
What?
I don't know. Was that you guys or was that me?
It was you.
Did you hear that?
No, but I saw you look around.
It was like a bang, like on the ceiling, like someone just
Yeah.
like
you have
suplexed
people
like a
that live
sumo
I'm
upstairs?
just,
wrestler.
I'm not worried. It's He's trying to overcompensate for a bad
Al's
team.
like, fuck this conversation. I'm moving
Yeah.
forward with Drake May.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. No, he is. He's overcompensating, right? That's what it looks like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I will be willing to write it off as that, but it's still concerning. Like obviously, like Lamar Jackson has a ton of fumbles as well, and you deal with that because he'll give you 8 big plays for every
Yeah.
fumble. But he
Yeah.
fumbles like 7 times a year,
Yeah.
which is a lot, and that's what got Stephen Ridley benched and cut. Like
Yeah.
that's a lot of fumbles. That's 7 times you're giving the ball away.
If I'm
But
comparing him to Josh Allen has some shitty turnovers too, but he is unfortunately one of the top quarterbacks in the league on one of the top teams in the league. So
not
like
even that
I'll
good.
deal with it. Some of the fumbles too. He's getting hit from behind, blindside hits. He's getting pressure in 1.5
Yeah, he's
seconds.
getting jacked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know. Some of the picks, like trying to do too much, not on the same page with his receiver. Rookie issues. Again, this is why I want him to play.
Like the
Why I
pick
want
today
him to
was
play
brutal.
earlier
Like he
this year.
just threw it up. That was dumb. But also like
Defensive guy peeled off. It was like, shit. Yeah.
they blitzed a corner, and like
Yeah.
I don't know if Drake May just didn't shift the line to pick that up, or
Mhm.
if the line just sucks and somebody was supposed to be there blocking for it, but he lobbed a very stupid pass, and I believe it was a defensive lineman made a good play on it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's frustrating to watch, but again, he's a rookie. Like he's gonna go through these things. So it is what it is. You give him a little bit more grace than you would like an Aaron Rodgers, for instance, who is having a
Yeah.
bad year. Who by the way wants to
Yes.
come back in 2025, but not play on the Jets, which is incredible.
Hilarious.
The Jets are going to ruin every player that goes over there. It is just beautiful.
It's
Devontae Adams
unbelievable.
just got over there. So he's going to be like, dude, what the fuck?
He's miserable.
Can't wait. Can't wait to see that. Yeah. So Drake May, keep doing your thing, man. Like he's the guy. They talked to him after the game, kind of paraphrasing what he said. He's like, penalties suck. Everything sucks. He said, I hate losing more than I like winning. Love that.
Yep.
Yeah. I got no
That's an
issues with
Edelman
it.
quote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leader.
He's made from the right stuff. I know people are worried about, and I was texting with some people. I know that they're worried about him, his confidence kind of getting rattled or whatever, kind of comparing him to Mac Jones. I don't see That happening to Drake May.
No.
It just doesn't seem like, again, you never know. He's 22. I don't know. But like, I think he's too young to know any better. Like, he's just like, all right, like shit, this sucks. We got to go out there and win, guys. Like, I don't know. It is what it is. So yeah, I'm happy with
on
him.
a separate note, and this is just a quick aside because I was listening to the Edelman thing reminded me of it. I was listening to his podcast. He had Steve Smith on,
Oh, I heard
and
that. I heard that part
yeah,
too.
and Steve Smith was talking about how they had a trade finalized or like in the works for him to go to the Patriots,
Ah,
and Edelman was the one who ruined the trade. It was like in 2011 or something like that, but
No, I
Edelman
think
was
it
the
was
one.
I think it was 14 actually. Right
Was
before
it?
that Super Bowl year.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, when I heard that, I was like, damn, it would have been so sick to see Steve Smith in New England.
love Steve Smith with the towel. He's the one receiver I think of when you think of like the little towel hanging out of his
Yep.
waistband. He's the guy.
Yeah, he's the
I'm
best.
convinced it makes you like 3 miles an hour faster when you're
It
running if you
does
have a
because it's
towel
always
in your.
blowing in the wind. It
Yeah,
gives you a
yeah,
little
it kind of
boost.
aerodynamics. You guys want to talk about the defense real quick for this? What's going on? What's going on
What
with the
is
defense?
going on?
Kyle Duggar kind of looks unplayable at times. He dropped a pick, which not his fault, but this is probably like I think the third game where he's dropped a pick. Like I know the whole thing with defensive backs, they can't catch the ball. That's why they play defense. But buddy, you got to catch at least one of them.
Yeah, and he's good at catching the ball. Like
He is. Yeah, it's
he's
just
our
and
picks leader the last like 5 years.
I know injuries and like Christian Gonzalez played well again. Like
Did
I know
he,
there were
though?
some, yeah, I guess some of the passes it looked like he gave up. That was zone coverage. And again, my thing with Christian Gonzalez is I think he's very good. He's a very good corner, but I feel like the fact that Patriots fans, we all know he's good, and we're almost getting too fixated on the stats where it's like, oh, well, one-on-one man coverage, he hasn't given up this. But you also got to play zone. Like Jarrell Revis was still good playing zone. Aqib Talib was still good playing zone.
Yeah,
Like
he was on man on Tyreek Hill when he caught that first down in the
that's
first quarter of the
it's
game.
like, don't get me wrong. Like he is not the issue. We're just talking about defense. I'm sick of giving him passes for giving up completions in zone coverage. Like if you are this guy, you
Yeah.
should be making some of these plays. Like I'm sick of receivers catching the ball and you tackling them right after and being like, oh, that's another one there. The Patriots were getting beat with fucking slants or like in routes. And like,
Yes.
I don't care if you're in zone. You should see that.
Yeah. And maybe this is because we think maybe too highly of Gonzo, but like
I think we might.
he should be making those like Ed Reed type plays. Like if he is the guy that we think he is, like
Champ
there's
Bailey
that.
type plays.
Yeah, there's that classic aside. I think it was Belichick and Peyton Manning were on like some NFL Films show, and they were talking about an Ed Reed pick off Peyton Manning where it was like single high safety coverage, and Ed Reed completely commits to the right side of the field. So Manning bombs it to the left side, and Ed Reed crosses the field and picks it off. An incredible play. Ed Reed is breaking his rules because he shouldn't be going off to that
Mhm.
guy, but he did it and got the pick. So,
He's good
like you
enough.
said, like if Gonzo's in zone coverage and you let the guy, you pass the guy off to the safety, but that's where the ball's going, break your assignment. Fucking follow that guy.
Yeah.
Especially if it's somebody like Tyreek Hill, who's getting the ball probably 25% of pass plays.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, and again, don't get me wrong. Gonzalez is one of those core four guys, core five
Yep.
guys. You want to build around him, Barmore, Drake May, and Pop Douglas. That might be your core four guys. But like it's frustrating because I don't want a corner that's only good covering in man like that. And he's obviously not that good because he's been targeted. I forget what the stat was, but he's been targeted a lot the last 5 games. If you were that good, like Revis was very good towards the end of his career because teams wouldn't even target his side of the field for the guy
Yeah.
he was covering. Now,
Yeah.
I don't. Revis is a very high bar for Gonzo right now, but it's just the first person I can think of. Just insert good corner here, Richard Sherman, whoever. That's who you want to talk about. But like I don't know. Yeah, sure. He had like Gonzo had like the scoop and score on the fumble. Right place, right time. I don't put that on anything. Yeah, it's frustrating. And like I know
Time Skylar Thompson's in. Like you're dealing with the second team.
yeah, Skylar Thompson is worse. I mean, he is
He's terrible.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you kind of expect more from him. Just like and I'll say it too, you expect more from Keon White too.
Yeah.
Like I know that we'll talk about pressures and he gets a lot of pressures or he beats his blocks and all that stuff. But there's a reason why the TJ Watts, the Miles Garrett's, the Hassan Reddicks at that time when he was really good. The what's his name?
Eagles.
The what's Ngankwe, the guy we got
Yeah.
from. There's a reason why they are or they were at their level because they weren't just pressure guys. They got
Finish
to
the
the
play.
quarterback.
I don't care if you beat your guy. Finish the
That doesn't mean
play.
anything if you beat your guy and you pressure Tua, but he gets away and throws a 25-yard completion on third down. That means shit to me. Fuck your pressure. You should just dropped into coverage.
Clearly, the pressure didn't phase him because
Like,
he torched us for 4 touchdowns.
Don't get me wrong. These pressures are good when you're on a good defense. Keon White, if this defense was fully healthy going into the year, like Keon White's pressures, some of them would turn to sacks.
But
Some of them would lead to sacks for other players.
And then disappears 4 weeks into the season.
That's
historic start, disappears.
We've
And then
seen-
doesn't get
we
another
saw
sack
it.
until the Bears game where everyone got a sack. Fucking Brandon
Schooler got a sack.
He got
another one today.
It's really cool. And also Christian Barmore, which is sweet. Psyched that Christian Barmore got a sack.
He played well.
Wicked cool. Yeah, dude, he's trying his fucking ass off. But like that's why I
Practicing
think
like
this is
2
a
days a week.
defensive scheme problem because last week Marcus Jones was getting torched. This week Marcus Jones is getting torched. I know Marcus Jones is in a bad corner. I saw Bill Belichick put him in position to have 5 picks in his first season.
Yeah, he's better than he's
not. Yeah, I know he's not this bad. So it makes me wonder, like, is this the scheme or are we just fucking terrible? Like, what's going on here?
I think it's a combo of both. I think the scheme isn't right. I just think it's a excuse me, a lack of talent. It's everything.
And they're not playing up to. Do you think like all these guys kind of fell off simultaneously? Like, do you think Marcus Jones is already kind of fucking done?
Well, like I said last week too, it was.
I got
think it
a
was
Marcus
Keon
Jones
White
convo. Remember, remind me, Al, after you talk. I got a Marcus Jones topic to talk about.
Okay.
right after this. You know what it is,
Um,
probably.
yeah, but real quick, Keon White said this last week, and I mentioned this last week. A lot of the Patriots defensive guys are out of position, so they're playing out of their normal,
Yep.
just like what they know and everything. So that's obviously a factor too. So hopefully next year that'll get fixed. But Marcus Jones, what do you got, Mike?
Did you guys see? Again, Al, you probably did because you're on Twitter a little bit more than Liam. I'm on Twitter obviously more than all you guys because I have no life. Although I haven't. We'll talk about it at the end of the episode because we'll end on a happy note. But did you see that? I guess Marcus Jones texted Alex Van Pelt
Oh yeah,
asking to play on offense more, and Alex Van Pelt, this whole thing where he's like, I'm paraphrasing the quote, but this was the gist of it. Al, you know it. Liam, you haven't, so I'll try to get it as close as I can for you. He looked down. He said, "Marcus Jones. If this was my Marcus Jones, he probably would have talked to me at Gillette, whatever." He's like, "Oh, so I googled Marcus Jones. The most recent one was someone who played on Green Bay a few years ago. Then I guess another coach reached out to AVP, was like, hey, Marcus tried to get in contact with you." AVP. It all happened kind of simultaneously. I do think AVP was kind of being a little facetious with it too, but Patriots fans took it and ran with it. But I guess Marcus Jones was like, hey, let me play on offense a little bit more. AVP agreed, and that's why he got a couple offensive snaps last week. So, and I guess AVP said that, or insinuated, said whatever, that he didn't know that Marcus Jones played on offense in 2022. And you would think that Alex Van Pelt said committed a cardinal sin by not knowing that. And my thing with that was, there's enough people in the room that should know that Marcus Jones played on offense. That's one. Two, Marcus Jones playing on offense means dick this year because it wouldn't have got you any more wins. And three, you think Alex Van Pelt is coming in here and studying a Patriots offense 2 years ago where half the personnel isn't even on the team anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I
And
understand
they were
you
terrible
would.
that year.
They were bad. They were 8-9, and the 8-9 was even like that. They weren't that good.
Overachieving.
Yeah. So like the people were like, I can't fucking believe that it's a fireable offense that AVP didn't know that Marcus Jones had 4 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown 2 years ago when the team sucked. Yeah. Guess what, dude? There's probably a lot of offensive coordinators that come in and don't study the years and years of this offense. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. Did you guys did Liam, this is probably like your first time hearing it. Al, did you guys have any take on that at all? Because it was a huge thing a couple days ago on Twitter, and like reporters were asking Mayo about it too.
I think it's a huge non-story. It's like
Thank
whatever.
fucking God. Thank you guys. Oh my God.
It's whatever. Like,
dude, it's exhausting.
Like people are trying to be like, oh, he doesn't know his players. Like, yeah, he's not going to know a defensive player. Had 4 catches and had like one great touchdown. Like, cool. Like, who cares? And besides, Marcus Jones was coming off an injury anyway. Let him focus on defense and let him focus on the punt return.
Dude, he's getting torched on defense. I'd be like,
yeah, so
he's got
bigger
offense.
problems. Exactly.
Yeah, before I let you play offense, let me see you fucking stop a slant route. How about that?
Dude, and that okay. I just wanted to see if we were all on the same page. Like, granted, I guess you would hope he knew, but he doesn't. It's like, okay, like it's not like he didn't know that Drake May could throw the deep ball. It's not like a crazy fucking thing. Like I don't know.
I'd be the worst kind of coach. Like, my players would fucking hate me because I would roast Marcus Jones for this. I would be like, hold on, get 2 pass breakups next game, and then I'll give you
get 2 snaps.
Yeah, and then you get 2 snaps. And if you don't, then get fucked and work on what you're working on. Once you start dominating the league, then we can talk about it.
Yeah. Do you guys think it feels like this? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, and I'm kind of seeing like how some players are talking. Godshaw after the game was like, it's nothing new. We come to Miami and lose. This seems like a different type of a loss. Like, let me put my local radio talk show hat on for a second. Is this a turning point game for Gerard Mayo? Like, is this one of those ones where we'll look back and be like, this is where he this is where he lost his job.
This is very talk radio of you.
Like, do you think that? Because I think like losing, like granted, the score was 34-15. Wasn't that close. I mean, you were down 24-0 for the majority of the game. It seemed like even when you were only down like 7-0, it felt like 24-0.
Yeah.
But like just everything from like the line, like the procedural penalties, like you would think that that would be something that you'd handle in practice. Like it just seems like this game kind of highlighted all the mistakes that a rookie head coach would make. And do you guys think that we will look back at this game and be like, this was the game that cost Gerard Mayo his job? I know it's a lot. It's a heavy fucking topic, but I figured, you know what? Let me dabble into the bullshit for a second and throw it out to you guys. Like, do you think
What do
this
you
is kind of a
think,
turning
Kyle?
point game for him?
I think it could be. I
Yeah.
really think it could be if this downward slide continues. Because I was looking at the schedule real quick. You got 5 games left. You're home against the Colts. You're at the Cardinals. You are at Buffalo. You're home against the Chargers, home against Buffalo. I believe in that order, if I'm not mistaken. I may have flipped the location of the Buffalo games. But, anyways, that's the order you're playing. You have probably out of those 5 games, maybe at the most, 2 of them that you have a chance to win.
Mhm.
Now, here's the thing. If you're competitive in those games, then this game's like, oh, it's Miami. They always play
Mhm.
bad in Miami, like the Heat, all that stuff, blah, 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 whatever. But if they get their shit rocked by the Colts at home, who are, right around 500, 5-6, but still
They
should be
better not.
beatable.
Better not.
If you get shit pumped by the Cardinals, if you get beaten badly by Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers and the Bills, I
Mhm.
mean, at that point, I know Robert Kraft is big into like family and like community, and I get wanting the continuity, but at that point, wouldn't you say, you know what? Maybe having Mike Vrabel, maybe having Ben Johnson here wouldn't be a bad thing going forward. And then you
Mhm.
just say, and then at that point, you say to Patriots fans, I don't care how bold you have to get, you say, listen, we made a mistake last year. If Mayo were to get fired, we made a mistake last year. But guess what? You're going to have to go through it because if we're hiring Ben Johnson or we hire Mike Vrabel, this is going to be at least a 2-year thing,
Mhm.
unless they go 0-17, which they're not going to do. So
Mhm.
again, this could be a turning point if he doesn't have the guys in the locker room, which I think he has them. So I think he should be
He
okay.
has him. I think he has him too. I mean, that calling them soft and having them respond and not be like little bitches about it. I think he has them. I will say if the Patriots could get Ben Johnson, that'd probably be the only name I'd be happy to move on from.
No,
Or not
Mike
even
Vrabel.
happy, but Vrabel just doesn't do it for me. I don't know why everybody likes him. And like I
I think he's
know
an awesome coach.
like I don't know. Like I wouldn't, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I told you guys to start the episode. I will hear any argument now. That's what this game did to me. But
I
like
think
Liam,
it's.
what do
Oh,
you
sorry.
think? Oh, sorry. No, no,
No, no.
no.
All I was gonna say real quick was
Fuck
no,
Liam.
no. All I was gonna say real quick was I think because Vrabel turned around the culture in Tennessee and got them to the AFC Championship a couple times, and really was starting to win consistently. I think that's why people are really hyping him up because he has the head coaching experience. It's not another guy that doesn't have any head coaching experience in the NFL. I think
Yeah.
that's a big thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Experience is huge.
I don't think so. I don't think this is any turning point or anything like that. From the God Show comments and stuff like that, it seems like the team just went into this being like we're gonna lose, and their
Which
play
sucks.
reflected it. Like they were just terrible. Like they just
Mhm.
accepted it because we always get pumped by Miami. Two is 7-0 against us, or 6-0 going into the game.
7-1 now, I think, or some shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
and we've lost in Miami, the last however many years. Even Tom Brady fucking wasn't winning much in Miami toward the end.
Yeah.
Like, I think they've just got in people's heads. I do think Mayo has the locker room. We all seem to
Mhm.
agree on that. I just don't think he's an X's and O's coach. I think he's like I guess he would be kind of closer to Dan Campbell than he would be Sean McVay, where he's like, I'm just gonna fire the guys up and hope they go out there and run through brick walls for me. When Sean McVay is like, all right, if they do this, these are the 3 things we can do to counter them.
Mhm.
And both can work. Dan Campbell has probably the best team in the league right now. And
Mhm.
Sean McVay is obviously probably going to be a Hall of Fame coach. Like he's fucking unbelievable.
Crazy.
But
Yep.
with Gerard Mayo, like being a rookie coach, there's so many glaring mistakes. The defense isn't good under him. So I don't think this is any turning point or anything like that. Like we've had some fucking brutal losses. This is by far the worst, but like we've had some pretty shitty losses this year. And I just think it's another one, maybe the worst one that we'll see. But I don't expect them to win any of the games coming up. Like before the season, I think we all penciled the Cardinals game in as a very logical, possible win for the Patriots.
Mhm.
Now I would say almost probably not. Like the Cardinals look
Yeah.
pretty good. They're
Yeah.
beating teams like the Niners, and we
Mhm.
got hyped by the Niners. So I'm like, that's not great. The Chargers crushing teams. The
Yeah.
defense locked down. We're in
Best
danger.
passing defense in the league.
Yeah, I still think we could get one against the Bills just because
Yep.
anything happened in a division
Yeah, you could beat the
rivalry.
Yeah,
Colts.
that's fair.
Yeah, in the Colts, very beatable team.
You could beat them.
But
That's two.
yeah, yeah. But Shane Steichen's an incredible offensive mind, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of his plays just stump a terrible defense. So I don't think there's any turning point that's going to get Mayo fired. But I think at the end of the season, they go, "You were a star middle linebacker, calling a great defense for the
Mhm.
Patriots." And you appointed this guy as a defense coordinator. We're firing him. And you are either on the hot seat or with how, unrational sports are nowadays, they could fire him. But I don't think it'll be because of this game. I think it'll just be because everything's been disappointing. Like
Yeah.
I was reading off the stats of all the points we've given up in the last 7 games or whatever it is. It's like the defense sucks.
Bad. Just bad. Do you think that Mayo, like assuming things don't look as bad as the Miami game, they either stay the status quo or they get a little bit better, whatever. Just looking forward. Do you think Mayo could be the guy? Do you think he could be the coach moving forward? Because I think this is now the conversation with the last 5 games that we have here. Yeah, there's 5 games left, right?
Yeah, five.
Yeah. Do you think that moving forward, like 25, 26, 27, could he be like, is he fine being the coach? Do you think these are just rookie, kind of like Drake May, where it's like, do you think Gerard Mayo is just like, dude, you're a head coach. There's a lot you got to do to figure out and
Yeah.
everything. We'll give you a year. We'll give you a year for sure because you got to figure things out. You have kind of a shitty team. Belichick left you with one of the worst teams in the league talent wise. So let's build it up. Do you think that Mayo could grow with the team with Drake May to be the head coach of the future for however long you want, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, however long? But just do you think that Mayo could be the coach moving forward? Do you think that this year is kind of showing that like I don't have as much faith? Like, where's your faith level? What's your thoughts on Mayo moving forward?
I would hope so. I like him. I
Mhm.
think the fans want him to be good. It's like when Tim Duncan not took over the Spurs, but he was like Pop's assistant coach for like a year and then he gave
Mhm.
it up for whatever inexplicable reason. Like fans eat that shit up. Like a hometown legend coming in and coaching is awesome. It's a story that everyone wants. But we saw how they pushed Bill Belichick out the door after years of success. We've seen coaches have absolutely no shot like come in with a terrible team, get 1 year and get bounced. Like who was the old Cardinals coach when Josh Rosen was the quarterback and they were terrible? They gave that poor fucking guy like 1 year
Yeah.
with a terrible team and then fired him and brought
They
in
pulled
Cliff
the cord
Kingsbury
too
the year
quick.
after.
So many teams
Yeah,
do.
so that's what I'm afraid of. I stand by my last point. Like sports fans and organizations are highly unrational. I could see him going, but I would like him to stay. Give him next year as a shot,
Mhm.
and like maybe even the year after that. Like fucking stick it through with some of these coaches instead of just bailing so quickly.
What if?
Ask me, ask me halfway through next season the same question
Yeah, it's too early to say.
because I don't know.
the these are rational takes. These are the takes you need to have. You cannot judge a rookie head coach in his first year when he has
No
two
shit.
quarterbacks. You're building a team like
Yes,
do you know
but
what?
I will
No,
say
go
real
go go
quick,
go. Then I'll
real
go.
quick. I will say again. I said this earlier. If the direction of the Patriots continues to go down and down and down for the last 5 games, then potentially look into bringing in like a Ben Johnson or a Mike Vrabel.
Yeah,
But if it
it's all on
stays
the board.
surface level, if you compete, give him at least halfway through next year to see what improvements he can make.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that the difference between teams that grow to be good teams and loser teams is that they get rid of their entire coaching staff the first year. You don't see immediate results, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's not realistic anymore.
No.
It's just not how things are. The entire league has changed from how players are brought up to how they're coached to how coaching happens to how just the entire season runs, three preseason games, less padded practices. Like there's it's so much different than how it used to be. You have to give Mayo next year. Now,
Yeah.
I tend to lean with Al, and actually both of you, because we're all saying the same thing. Give Mayo at least another year, but listen, halfway through next year, if they're 2-5, 2-6,
And they look bad, and it's a bad 2-6.
And they look, it's not like they were in it and like a bad call or some shit got the whatever it was. No, if they lose, like if it's bad, it's bad. But I think that ideally, we talked about it before. What coach's on the hot seat, whatever. Ideally, everybody gets another shot here. Build with the team, consistency, just like an offensive line, consistency, camaraderie. Let's build everything.
I will concede, I don't think the defensive coordinator should get that because we were sick on defense last year and nothing's changed besides injuries, yes, but now these guys are back and obviously it takes some time to shake off the rust, but we're terrible. Like,
what if they get better in these next 5 games or like start to look better? Would you give them another shot then?
Yes, absolutely. Well, then I would take it into consideration. I wouldn't commit to it, but it's going to be really tough to forget the dick kickings that we've grunted this entire time. Like, I'm looking at it. We got smacked by the Niners, which everyone expected. Like I said, Geno Smith had a good
smacked
game.
by the Texans.
Yeah, the Texans destroyed us. And CJ Stroud didn't even ball out. Like, we just let them run all over us. And we actually I would have thought we had a chance to come back. We got torched by the Jaguars, who aren't good at all. And they benched Trevor Lawrence for the rest of the game. The Titans had their way with us. Like, Mason Rudolph came in there and huffed it around. What were his stats, dare I ask? Because I remember they were pretty decent. 240 yards, 2 tubs, and a pick. Like, he was balling. Everyone's balling except for Caleb
The more
Williams.
you talk about it, Liam, I'm going to stick with I think if a coach goes, it will be Alex Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator. But I think if I had to choose one that should go, I would pick Covington.
Yeah, dude, this sucks.
I'm not sure he will because they can always lean on the injury thing. Jawan Bentley going out was huge. Peppers gone, huge. Duggar being injured a little bit is huge.
And you were talking about the trending.
Barmore,
And if they're trending in the right direction as the season goes on, then I'll take that into consideration. But being realistic, we could hold the Colts to 2 touchdowns. I think that's reasonable. But we're not going to hold the Cardinals. We're not going to hold the Bills. The Chargers are going to run all over us. So they'll probably get 21 with ease. And then we got the Bills again. Like, you are fighting an uphill battle. And we're not going to hold any of those teams, except for maybe the Colts, to less than 20 points.
If we do, that's huge. If they do, that's a big notch in the cap, big feather in the cap there. If they end up doing that, we'll see. Kind of wrap up thoughts, feelings, anything about this game before we give a quick outlook to next game.
No,
I'm miserable.
Typical Miami game. Move on.
Yeah, it's not great. It's
fucking
not great.
Sucks because I love to go to Miami, but I hate Miami.
Yeah. No, it's horrible. Jalen Polk, bad game. Javon Baker,
dude, he
non-existent.
sucks. We did not talk about Jalen Polk.
I don't want to. He had that screen pass where he got 6 yards where he needed 7. He looked like he should have got the 7. I don't know. He looks. I hate to say it. He looks soft. I don't know. Just not
soft.
Not a great game. Our sweet boy Drake May and our
somebody save this man.
Best tight end in the league, Hunter Henry. They're
doing
all they
both
can.
a hug. Like,
they're doing all that. Austin Hooper even is joining.
Austin Hooper.
They're doing all they can. You got the trifecta of whites.
Dude,
you got Drake May, Hunter Henry, and
tight
Austin
ends
Hooper.
Are balling. It's unbelievable. We're crushing.
Dude, they're doing well. They're catching it. They're doing their thing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Austin Hooper go to a different team next year and have a career year. It's gonna be so nice.
Do you also the fact that Jonnu Smith is kind of gone off this year? Nobody's talking about it, but a wildly huge indictment on Belichick.
Yeah,
Like, I know that
not
people
good.
don't want to, and I do, we will eventually have an episode, and it might pain us, but maybe it won't pain me as much as I thought, where we're going to have to talk about the shit that Belichick left us with and what he did his last few years that is kind of fucking up things right now for the Patriots. So we'll talk about that.
I'll have to
Maybe
do some research
maybe
for
the
this
bye
one.
week. Maybe the bye week we'll talk
Yeah.
about it. I think the bye week we'll have
When's the
some
bye week?
thoughts there. After the Colts
After the
game,
Colts
right?
week, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, or is yeah, because it goes Colts bye, then Cardinals,
Yeah, Bills, Chargers,
Cardinals, Bills,
Bills.
Chargers. But okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So the bye week. Yeah, so we'll talk about that.
Um,
So next week then. Oh no, the week after.
Two
Yeah.
weeks
Week
after.
after.
We got two weeks. Cool.
Um,
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, but there it's not great. Nothing's great.
Not great, Bob.
Um
Not great.
Colts game. Colts come into Foxborough.
Anyone think the Pats are going to win?
Listen, man, this will be the last week where I will say I think
Kid's
the
gone on a
Pats,
tirade for the
I
last 45 minutes about
I
how he
think,
hates
dude,
this
listen,
fucking team and thinks we suck.
Anthony Richardson is listen, I'm trying to talk myself into it. You're playing at home. The Colts aren't as good as the Dolphins, maybe. Uh yeah,
Maybe.
I am hoping against hope that the Patriots, because I will tell you this, if the Patriots lose going into the bye week, it will be insufferable. So they need to win going into the bye week. I think they're playing at home. I think Drake May pulls this one out. I think Drake May, dare I say, throws for 300 plus. I'm
I
gonna
don't
say
know
it.
how the Colts defense is.
Neither do I. I don't even give a shit. Drake May, 300 plus. I'm throwing it out there. I think the Patriots win. This will be, I'll put it on record, the last game where I will seriously pick the Patriots to win the game. What do you guys think is going to happen?
I'm looking at the Colts
I
defense.
don't even know.
Doesn't look
That's tough.
great.
No, it's tough. But they are at home. Remember, they are at home, which is good.
Anthony Richardson has played well recently.
Yeah, but
Colts defense as a whole is pretty down.
there we go. Yeah, they are.
Like
Yeah, they are.
They're like
Buddy,
bottom.
it's happening.
Don't give me hope.
They're like bottom 5 in the league in passing
308,
and
38
defense.
yards rushing. Let's do it. Let's fucking go. Oh, I'm pulling them. Patriots, whatever
This
it
is
is.
it.
Patriots.
This is the last game they actually have a shot to win. This
Hell
is
yeah,
the last
baby.
game.
Hell
We're doing
yeah.
a squad ride on the Patriots.
Let's do it. I'll
Might
I'll
have to.
fucking do it. Don't
I
fucking
think
tempt me.
because this is probably the last opportunity we have to do this. We should all bet the Patriots money line
Let's
just
do it.
as a team.
Yep.
Going in because
Let's
they're
go.
going to be underdogs and
Good.
we have a chance to make a little bit of money. We just do flat money line. We don't play around with spreads. Let's
Nope.
just hit Patriots money line and call it a day.
Good.
Yep.
I'll do it. I will do. Yep. We're in. We'll do
And
it.
I'm gonna before the episode's over, I'm gonna update my top 5 guys I want in a Patriots uniform for next
Yeah.
year.
Yes.
Yep,
You gotta do that. You
yes.
gotta do that.
All right.
But what do you guys think? Who's winning this game? I don't need score predictions unless you want to give me them. Just win. I don't give a fuck about the score. I can't have another loss.
Patriots 2017.
There we go. Okay. I like that.
I mean, I think the Colts are going to win, but I am going to bet on the Patriots.
There we go.
Let's go, Pats.
There we go. Okay. Do you think the Colts are going to blow us out? You think it's going to be a little close, like a one-score game?
I think it would be like a 9-point differential.
All right. That's not horrible. Al, who do you want on this team? You said you had your 5 guys.
Number 5, Ashton Genty, because he would just be so much fun in the backfield again. Number 4, Tet McMillan, 6'5", unbelievable hands.
Amen.
Number
Can I get an amen?
Amen. Number 3, Will Campbell.
Will Campbell, yep.
Now it's down to Banks and Hunter.
Dude, get Travis Hunter the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he sucks.
I'm sorry. Go. I'm sorry. This is your list. I'm sorry. We're good.
Do you want number 2 or number 1? Probably
Just-
number 1, right?
Just go 2 and 1. 2 and 1. Let's go. Give it to
Number
me.
2, Kelvin Banks. Number 1, Travis Hunter. I want Travis Hunter here. I want him here.
You are such a tool.
Listen,
Do you want him here as a wide receiver or a corner?
I want him as a wide receiver.
Okay.
I want him as a receiver. He can be dynamic. Honestly, either way is a win because you might need another corner next year, and you definitely need a receiver so he can fill one of those needs. So,
It's true.
but again, it might change next week.
He's not the best wide receiver in college football. He's not the best corner. He's not even a top 5 corner. And no, he might be top 5 corner. He's not a top 5 wide receiver.
He won't be.
He had
will
he had
have
a
to pick when
touchdown
he comes
in
to
like
the end.
garbage time last game. Like
Yeah, I
he
saw that.
like it wasn't everyone's flipping out that he got a touchdown. They were up like 28 points.
Yeah. Do you? I think I would assume we're all in agreement here. He can't do the wide receiver corner thing.
No, fuck
No,
no.
he
No
can't.
chance.
No,
You
no
have no
chance in the
shot.
NFL.
No.
No.
You're asking him to play over 100 snaps a game? Like, no,
And
you can't
not
do
even
that.
that. My thing is you need to learn both positions, which
Mm,
it's very different than learning a position in college. You got
yeah.
schemes, you got everything. I mean, not that there's not schemes in college football, but it's different. There's a reason it's college football and professional
And
football.
if he cannot play both, that takes all the glare out of Travis Hunter. Like
Oh
we're
yeah,
excited about him
he
because he plays
becomes
both.
what? He becomes what as a wide receiver? Say he can only be a wide receiver. He becomes
Jacoby
what would
Jones.
be his comp? I mean his comp. Okay, yeah,
Jacoby Jones.
yeah. And then corner, what? He's just I don't know, like a top 15 corner, which is good, but like that's not first round, top
Like
10 pick. That's not worth it to me. Kevin
like
Fuller, like who?
Javier, yeah, Javier Arenas.
Yeah, that's not worth it, man. That's not worth it at all. That's why I can't. I want to see who takes him because I do not think he's going to succeed, and it's not because of him. I think whatever team drafts him is going to fuck him up. They're going to try to play him too much. They're going to play him at the wrong position, whatever that
Is it
happens
him
to
or
be.
Shador that wants to go to the Raiders?
I think it's Shador.
Shador,
Okay,
probably.
that poor
But probably,
bastard.
probably because he wants to go there. He probably hopes his dad follows and coaches there. Although I think Antonio Pierce got that on lock.
Yeah, I think he's gonna
Yeah.
Um,
get locked up.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was fun. You guys have
No, let's get out of
anything
here.
else
I want to
to
kill
chat about?
myself.
All right. Well, go. You know, the one thing that's given me hope, that's given me stability in this time. Go listen to Kendrick Lamar's new album, everybody. It's awesome. It's great. It is
Sports Spider.
Sports Spider.
beautiful. You know what? Listen to the album while you're perusing Sports Spider, Spider with a Y, sportspider.com. Go check it out. We got to fucking get this ad read in the beginning. That's what we have to do from now on. Forgot because we were so goddamn depressed.
Yeah, it's been a tough
Yeah, go
season.
check it out. NFL, click it. You see us at the top. Listen. You want to comment and talk shit, you can. If you want to like, you can. If you want to just watch in silent, in in the shadows like a little creeper, do that too. I do that with podcasts. It's fine. Do what you got to do. But yeah, just stick with us through the rest of this year. And then yeah, the off season should be good. But yeah, just enjoy Thanksgiving, everybody. Favorite food at Thanksgiving, guys.
Ooh,
Stuffing. Besides like the turkey, obviously. Stuffing.
Fine, yeah.
cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce. See, I'm not a fan. Okay, I'll go ham. I'll go ham.
I like
It
gravy
normally is
too.
stuffing. I love it. Another thing down south, I know you Northerners. I used to be one, but you Northerners don't know. Mac and cheese is huge down here on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone
I know
down
Mac
it
and
south
cheese
is.
is
is good
fat,
shit.
so I would
Mac and
imagine
cheese is
mac and
good
cheese
shit. But no,
is
ham.
good
So we got
everywhere.
ham, stuffing, cranberry sauce. Enjoy the holiday. Enjoy the game. Go Lions on Turkey Day. Bet everything you have on them. They're gonna
Yep,
destroy the Bears.
easy money, free
But
money.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I will bet every bet I do every week involves the Lions, and they have not let me down yet. So
Yeah, well, the Chiefs
um
are off my list now, so I should get back on the Lions.
fuck them. Chiefs and Texans gone. Don't bet on them. Too crazy.
Yeah.
So for Liam, Al, I'm Mike. This was Tuck Rule Takes episode 157, I think. Enjoy the loss. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Sit with it. Let it stew inside you. Watch them beat the Colts next week, and we will talk to you next week going into the bye week. So
Hopefully,
for everybody
happier.
here, we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye. Have fun. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy
See you later.
Thanksgiving, fans.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye.